Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the darling of the mother Devaki, Guru of the world, and the Lord of the universe. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are reading book number 3, chapter 30. And we'll start with verse 1. But just what we talked about the other day, that was Bhagavat is telling, who is saying? Kapila. Talking to his mother, Devahuti. What she said last time, that image worship is good, but much better is to worship God in human being. So that's idea, what Ramakrishna mission is a foundational thought, very pivotal ideas of the Ramakrishna movement is worshipping God in man. So that here Kapila told to his mother that those who do worship, aham sarveshu bhuteshu, I am in every being, bhuta atma, I am an atman of them, I remain in their heart. And ignoring that I am residing in the heart of all, ignoring that human manifestation, what they do? Kurute archa vidammanam. They do meaningless worship. And that worship, meaningless worship for what? For God, thinking that they're worshipping. That means if you can see God there, you should see more the presence of God in human being. It should go parallelly, increase. So, yomang sarveshu bhuteshu santam atmanam ishyaram hitta archam. Those people giving up that I am residing in the heart of all, Atma as an Atman of them, the Lord or guide of them, forgetting that hitva, giving those noble thoughts and ideas, archam, then they do worship, flower offering, dhoop, incense, and all this external puja, bhajate mudha. Hey, they are worshipping like a fool, befooling themselves, and they do all their useless service. So that was the last time we read, that image worship versus seeing God in them, and spiritual view of illumination. And then we talked about the time. That means the different seeing God is the foundational thought. Now today, everyone in the clutches of time, that was the last 36 verse to 45, 9 verses were dedicated to time. God as time. Because everything is born in time, everything is changing in time, everything is dying in time. Everything is... So the cycle of birth, growth, death, disease is going on in the cycle. And who is controlling? Big T, time, eternal. And that's why we worship Mahadeva, Lord Shiva, as the great time. Mahadeva. Mahakala. Kala means the time. Mahakala, great time. Shiva is worshipped in one of the Jyotirlingas, 12 Jyotirlingas in India. Out of one is Mahakala. His name is Mahakala. Shiva is named because he is the eternal time. And in that time everything is coming up and going down, and born, and growth, suffering, pleasure, pain, experience of joy, freedom, bondage, everything is a concept. Unless you go beyond time. That's why Vedanta says go beyond time. Go beyond space, go beyond time. If one can go beyond time, then it's beyond space, beyond causation. That is the freedom. And thus time is limitless. Last verse we read. Though itself without beginning or end, time has no beginning, big time, Shiva, Mahakala, has no beginning, no end, but it provides a beginning and end for all entities. Beautiful. That time is endless, big T, in him, in Brahman, in Lord Shiva eternal. Creation comes, sustenance comes, destruction happening. But in that cosmic time, he is unchangeable. Time, in the big time. But in that time, all changes are happening. In this time, it is becoming 4:37 now. See, time is changing. We started at 4:30, already 7 minutes passed. So, and in the 7 minutes, we are all changing. Our body changing, our mind changing, our emotion, our understanding, everything is a change. So, unchanging time, time itself, God is eternal, but in God, there is a change, cycle of change. And that is the whole creation, world of creation. So, though, that's why 45 verse it said, so ananto antokaraha kalo aniridishad disadikrita advayo janang janena janayati janayan marayan mrityun antakam. So what happens, though time itself is big time, is limitless, though itself without beginning or end, but this time provides a beginning and end of all entities. It gives origin to all creatures and creations, to their parents, and determines also their end, including the end of like a Jama comes, god of death. The creation comes with the parents, and destruction comes in the form of death. So this is the big play going on with God's creation in the world of duality. Now, Kopilo, 38th verse, verse number 1, this advice is the destiny of the sinful. So in this life, in this karma creation, who does good karma, they will be liberated, they will have freedom, they will have bondage-free life. Those who do bad karma, they will have to be born again and again. So that's what is the, we hear this. Now here we will hear more detailed description. Life and death of the worldly person. Bhagavan said, the unwary man, though constantly pushed towards his end by irresistible time, big time, as clouds by the wind, fails to understand his predicament. No? Like unwary man means who is not careful about what he is doing, whether he is doing sinful work or noble work, while he is manifesting towards God, or he is going to demonic character, whether his nature is changing to a better or to the lower nature, sattvic nature or tamasa nature. So though constantly pushed towards his end, all human being is pushed towards the end. And irresistible. You cannot stop that. You cannot stop your growth now. I will know no more. I am 80, I will stay in 80 whole life. Every split second it will change. Irresistible. So irresistibly the time, and it is like a cloud is driven by the wind. Wind, it cannot stay, wind will blow. So fails to understand his predicament. Whatever he collects for his enjoyment, through painful effort, time destroys, causing grief to him. Who will understand? No, you all go through that. Very realistic point, no? You collect, people collect in right and wrong means. You collect wrong means much money. By cheating, by deceitful behavior, you can say that you are a very, very big guy and you are very honest and all doing wrong things. Good. But there is no freedom from that. That whatever he collects for his enjoyment, it collects, people don't enjoy. Even collecting is an enjoyment. There is a joy in collecting. Mentally you can think the whole messy swap is mine. Then you need not have to collect anything. How much you go 1 or 2 clothing you purchase from there, and mentally think, I have so many pairs of suits and dresses and this and that. Why to order and purchase and accumulate and then die before using? Many people don't even touch them. No, we again and again hear people have collected so much, house full, 100 pairs of shoes, 200 pairs of suits, and this and that, and never, maybe 50, 60, 70 umbrellas. So it's never used. Why to do that? And you think that enjoyment through painful efforts, you have to do very hard work to earn money, no? Or maybe cheating, whatever you do. But time destroys everything, and it causing grief to him. So it happens. Man with his mind infatuated and undiscriminating, with his mind infatuated and undiscriminating, considers house, land, wealth and other possessions associated with his physical life his permanent asset, forgetting that his body itself is the most impermanent of the things. He's collecting this, collecting that, collecting. For what? It's for me. I will collect, I will deserve, I will have it. I have. But not knowing that this body itself is impermanent. The body is going to die. Janturvai bhavaitosmin yang jani manubrajet. In any body, any physical body it enters, no? The soul enters into this body, enters into another body, into a dog body, cat body, elephant body, a dinosaur body, or amoeba body, COVID body, whatever body, all body, entering into one to the other, another. It continues. A jiva transmigrating from one body to another gets the petty enjoyments appropriate to those bodies again and again, but he still fails to be satiated with them. Hindu religion is again and again emphasizes. Don't think, we say, oh, the birds are so nice, they are flying in the sky, how chirping and smiling. And we used to walk, and I think, oh my God, what was a terrible thing. The wind is coming, and they cannot fly anymore. Wings are tired, but they will have to make a circle and circle. And when they are circling, we say, oh, they are smiling. And their wings are tired. They cannot do any more, they will fall down. Like that body, this body, we all went through all those experiences. And experience, what type of joy? A bird's body can give bird's enjoyment. A cat body can give cat's enjoyment. A dog's body can give dog's enjoyment. No? A human body can give human enjoyment. A God body can give godly enjoyment. Every body is fit for, human can eat soup as also solid. But if you give some duck, what they take? With this, they have the power to take something in the liquid, and also something maybe solid also. But their tongue, our tongue, their way of enjoyment, we also enjoy good food, bad food. And also dog, cat, they also, pet dogs, you see, how they like. Here always tail is turning like that if you give a nice piece of dog food. No? And they have preferences. You give some chicken one day, that is a different tail twisting. So everybody is giving some type of enjoyment fitted to that body. But we get that, but we know it is temporary, but we don't learn. So that's why it says, a jiva, 4th verse, it says, Janturvai bhavo etasmin yang jonim anuprajet. In whatever body it enters into his life, no? According to karma, entering into human body or another body, higher body, lower body, according to karma. Not knowing gets the petty enjoyments. They get the joy. Tasyang salabhati. That particular body, whatever joy it can give, again and again they get that petty enjoyments of that body, but still nivittir na virajyate. They don't find detachment from that. It is enough. It is useless, futile attempt to find joy in the limited. I am unlimited. How can you be satisfied with any limited instrument to enjoy the infinite? So they don't understand, because their mind is not pure. Owing to the spell cast by the Lord's Maya, it is likely that even if consigned to hell, the jiva engrossed with the pseudo-satisfactions possible through the hell body would not like to part with even that body. Now, suppose it's a spell of Maya. We are all deluded. We are thinking this is good, this is eternal, this will make me happy, this will give me joy, no? Suppose this is the Maya created by God. So owing to the spell cast by the Lord's Maya, it is likely that even if consigned to hell, if one is put to hell, you can come. That somebody wanted to come. You can likely that even if it's consigned to hell, even someone is put to punishment, no? God puts us to negative karma, takes us to some bad experience. But the jiva engrossed in these pseudo-satisfactions, there is a satisfaction, we are satisfied, but it is a pseudo-satisfaction. It is not real satisfaction. It is momentary sensate experience of little touch of some joy, as it were, possible through the hell body. Even in the hell body, would not like to part with even the body. Okay? That this body is not giving me, it is pseudo-joy. Sensate joys, whatever is coming, it is coming through the senses, means filtered, and the intensity of the joy is reduced. What I get by eating, what I get by seeing, what I get by hearing, tasting, touching, these are all pseudo-joy. It is no joy at all, but still people don't understand. Knowing that even going to the hell experience, there also they want to find joy and come back again to do some karma. Endowed with a healthy body, family, wealth and good connections, A man with his heart deeply attached to them thinks himself fortunate and happy. People say, I'm fortunate. I got a good job. I got good money. I got good house. I got good car. I am very happy. I am very happy. See, this is the money. Most of us normally living in the world, it happens. And we find this is pseudo-joy. But people get very complacent in this joy and don't search for something higher. Ramakrishna said that the businessman who was making business with rice seller, huge supplier of rice, they have a big storehouse. And the rats, if they get to know that there is a whole stack of rice, they will make hole and create trouble for the entire stock. So they put little few grains outside the door at some corner, and the rats come and chew one or two and happy and go back. They never search for, there is to search for something else. To the human being, we are like rats and or like that type of, we are satisfied with little sensate experience of joy, and I'm happy. And again doing the same thing. So, foolish man, prompted by evil tendencies and engaged in the promotion of his worldly interest, suffers untold miseries and commits heinous sin. No? How people are cheating. Look at the world. One brother is going with a sword, killing another brother, no? For sharing the mom's property, dad's property, going to court, and day and night, each one fighting with each other, feeling that property, if it is in my name, I'll be rich, I'll be happy, it will make me richer than anyone, I shall be. But this happiness, what type of happiness? Even you get it and then die the moment. What will happen? Who will enjoy this happiness? So this is all pseudo-happiness. And even they don't do right manner. Yes, there is a righteous way of earning money. There is a negative way of earning money. Atmo jaya sutagarang pushu dravinam bandhusu nirura mula hridayo atmanam bahumannati. What he does, endowed with a healthy body, with a family, wealth, good connections, a person with his heart deeply attached to them, thinking himself fortunate and happy. But foolish man, prompted by 7th verse, foolish man, prompted by evil tendencies and engaged in the promotion of the worldly interests, suffers limitless miseries, and they commit sins, heinous sins, not ordinary type, sins, endless sins. A man preoccupied with his household considers himself extremely happy to be engrossed in and attracted by the bewitchments of the voluptuous women in privacy and by the indistinct speech of infants, and tirelessly engaging himself in the painful and crooked practices they have to be adopted from the preservation and advancement of his worldly interests. So the man preoccupied with this type of tendencies considers himself extremely happy to be engrossed in the world, attracted by all these foolish things, and then they get caught. Verse 10. Committing injustice and harming others, he earns wealth from here and there to support his family. As Valmiki was doing, no? he was earning money, yes, getting money, good money, by evil means, by being a highway robber. So people committing injustice, they know I am not doing right. But by harming others, but I get some money, so I should do. One time there was a question of investing money, whatever we have little. So they are saying, oh, there is, what is that, which gives high return? What is that investment? I forgot the name. Anyhow, stock market, but in an investment in which company?
Apple.
Now Apple, I don't know. That was very high yielding. When we are getting 1%, 2%, and they are giving 10%, 15%. Anyhow, so, but very deep concern was with everyone. Now we cannot invest in those because that company earns money exploiting the labor. They don't give any benefit to the people, and they make them work, hard work, and with a little something they earn this big money, and the investors get the benefit of that. So that is the question. But committing injustice and harming others, he earns wealth from that type of, or anyway. Who does not want? That's why everyone runs to Las Vegas. Why? To have the jackpot. It will come to me. And if it comes, everyone gets a jackpot, then how the business will run? But we are all in the hope of jackpot. Millions and we'll be billionaire one day. We'll be millionaire one day at least. So that is the cry going on. He earns wealth from here and there. And what they do is, look at that, when they get money, what they do? Yes, dancing, drinking, sightseeing, this, that, and ego, pride comes, hey, and dominates over other people. Do you know who am I? I'm a Rolls-Royce car, I drive, and these are, nowadays. Anyhow, so everything outward show, that means the arrogance, ego, the expansion of the bad ego increases there. And debases himself by eating what is left after the members of the family have been fed, overlooking even his duty to feed guests and poor. Those type of people, even sometimes they have no time to eat. Some people earn money, that they are called kripana. Kripana means the miser. Real miser means they accumulate the money, but never get a good food, never get it's the old style. Old style of rich people were like that. Yeah, they are very miser people, we have seen. They will earn money so much hardship whole day, but when they are purchasing their own meal, worst, thrown away things and this and saving that much money. But for whom? Have a balance health, balance this, balance, that is not the focus. So, overlooking all these things, they are thinking that they are earning money and they are becoming rich. When the business that brings him his livelihood fails, even after repeated efforts to save it, he gets restless and greedily turns his attention to other people's properties. He is trying to do something, he failed, so sneaky in another's property, another's money, just to, how many fraud things are happening. Your bank account, why people are calling you now and then? Come, you are in danger. Your bill will be charged for you. You want immediate help. We got to support you. Immediately respond to this call. Means give your phone number and all the data. Then I will make my way in and get your money. So how much going on? All the crypto companies are working to stop those things, no? But other things are they're trying parallelly to get into the way. So, to other people's property. 12. Burdened by too many family responsibilities and dogged by the misfortune and failures in all these efforts, he becomes dazed, fatalistic, and pitiable, and sighs in despair. Those who are kripana, miser, and to earn this way, day and night, money, 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 this worldly property. We have seen in every country it is there. Your land and my land. Here is the border line, it was one. At night time they will break that border and put 6 inches on your side, all through the length. And when you come back to know already that is broken and here is the 6 inches, they say, hey, you have taken my property. They will go to court and this and that and prove that, no, I am right, this is my property. 6 inches of the land extending for maybe 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet, this is my property. So do all these types of things. But what is their fate? Burdened by too many responsibilities of the life, and dogged by the misfortune, that is failure, he cannot succeed in positive way. He becomes dazed and fatalistic and pitiable and sighs in despair. That means man becomes very, this is no path of peace, but they try to be peaceful by that way. When a man has thus become incapable of supporting the family, his wife and others relatives begin to neglect him, as heartless farmers do with their aged, drought animals. He does so much, when he becomes old, nobody looks at him. Like the cows and animals which give service so much for the household, when they turn old, they sell it to the butcher. So no one takes care of. But he thought, it is I am doing my good duty by right or wrong means to accumulate money, to possess money, and I failed this way. People repent much. What did I do whole life? Nobody looks at me. I did so much for the home. I worked so hard day and night. But what I am getting in return? There's a fatalistic situation comes in the life, and no one looks at them. That means neither internal joy, neither support. Actually people support it. But deformed by old age, with death approaching, and yet without any dispassion for worldly enjoyments in his heart, he continues miserably in his home, eating what his children given him disrespectfully. If there are children in old age, who looks after the old parents? Exceptional families are there where the children will look after the parents. But most of the people who are themselves lead, even a good people, their children, when they are dying, they make one phone call comes, then you are happy. One greetings card comes, when you are dying before that, you can think, oh, somebody has given me some remembered. No? That much satisfaction you get. So he continues miserably living in a home and eating whatever his children mercifully gives him, disrespectfully, as like a dog would do with what is thrown to eat. Idleness, loss of appetite, indigestion, and extreme weakness are his lot. He's talking about these experiences, may not all match now, but this tendency you can find. In the time this book is written, the society situation, how the old people are treated in their own family, how they are ignored, how they are not respected, and they live at the mercy of, even there is nobody, that's one type of suffering. In the family there is nobody to look after, that one type, they have their own suffering. There are everyone, but they are busy with that and not to take care of their ailing.
So in America, it's very similar to that. But I always thought in India that they respected the elders of their family and all that.
But he's talking, yeah, that's true. In India, that is the good parents in this country, Indian families, you will see.
Some in this country.
No, I saw.
Yeah.
They have given up their job to serve only the ailing parents. They are so, give up their all, monetary waste, using the money and everything. That is a normal person. But those who are too much worldly and they greedily lived in the life, only collecting this, and not looking at right and wrong means, what happens to them also? So they get this treatment back because you have given so much suffering to others. You unethically collecting money, giving something and destroying the peace of others. That karma comes back as karma phala. So he is giving the real picture of the society. Say selfish people in every country. But our teaching is so high. Pitridevo bhavo, Matridevo bhavo, Acharya devo bhavo, Jannanu asma, annasmani karmani, tani sevita mani, noito rani. You have to perform that auspicious work. Look upon your father as God, as mother as God. Yes. And when we were young, small children, we used to train. Go do salute every day mom and dad, and they will bless you, and you feel that is the good society, good family that. But even in that, if they are not oriented with higher ideology, meanness, unkindness, cheating and dizzying and this and that, they collect money. I have seen one gentleman, their home, their house, he is staying in his land, and another person, neighboring person was in their house. But there, you have to give space in between to your home, my home, some space. You give something, I give something. This man forcefully put his wall on the wall of that other guy, and they are poor people, they have their earthen mud house, and all the rainwater comes, let it fall on the wall, so that wall will fall down and they will have to recede the wall. Not the wall, even this wall of their home, house where they live. Poor people, to take their land, he's putting the water of his own roof water falling on the wall of the, so that it gets erodes and erodes and erodes and it falls down. So, but what happens? What is the use of that? Thinking I will be, see, little 2 inches, 1 inches, 5 inches landed property, little money, little this. So all this create, but at the end they suffer themselves. No one cares for them. When they fall sick, no one, their own children also they become little outgoing mostly. When a child is born with enormous luxurious situation, they go outward more. They don't study well, they don't go to school, they don't make a good result. As in this country also, when you have rich children, don't have much responsibility. That's why you find that in this country also, in every country, the children who are deprived from society, they get little chance to study, to do a little, they flourish much. Anyhow, this is the question that this person, in the old days, they suffered themselves because of their karma. His eyesight is affected. In old days, the eyesight, now we have glass and other things. In early days, when the Bhagavatam is there, how many thousands of years ago, where Krishna's time, no? So eyesight is affected, his throat is congested with phlegm, and he's troubled by the cough and respiratory difficulties, as old people have, no? Lying on his sick bed, with sorrowing relatives surrounding him, he is not able to respond even when addressed by them, being choked by the rope of death. Thus a man of uncontrolled senses, who is absorbed exclusively in worldly concerns, dies with a mind afflicted and stupefied and with his relatives standing by and crying in grief. Even the family members are around and crying and grieving, but he most pitiably lives because he has never thought of anything beyond the body, beyond this self, this limited self. Naturally, that is the terrible suffering comes. And old age has its own problems, as everyone becoming old will come. But it is the more pitiable because they have never thought of anything beyond body. So they suffer much more. 19th verse. The suffering of purgatory. He then sees before him, after he is just going to leave, what he sees? All the bad karmas come like emissaries, coming to take them to the hell. No? That's why this Bhagavat book and other book makes people moral. If you read this book, they put out a grim picture of what is good action and bad action can create in the life. He then sees before him two emissaries of Yama, huge in size and menacing with their terrifying eyes. The sight makes him shudder and evacuate in fear. So, seeing death, no, all the negative of karma comes in the form of terrible emissaries of death. And then confining the jiva in the jatana deho, the body of punishment, and tying a rope round the neck, they drag him by a long path, as the police do with condemned criminals. Persecuted by the emissaries of death and beaten by the wayside of dogs, he walks shivering with fear and remembering one after another the sins that have brought him to this end. A karma, people, repentance is what? You did something bad and it reflects, a flashback, It comes back to the mind. So it is like that. Even this description, really one bad guy came and put a noose and then pulling him in the road. It's a terrible description. It may not be that. But all the karmas will appear in the mind and take them to the bad experiences. That's why it is called the journey to the path of light, journey to the path of what you call darkness. Two ways after death people go. Sukle Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita it says, Sukle Krishna goti hiyate. After death, individual soul have to go either Sukla goti, path of light, and path of darkness. The tunnel, that's why it says, when someone dies, Gita says, that is with daytime, or in the full moon night, night-time also light, daytime also light. So one then moves, his soul moves light to the light, path of light, according to their good karma. And those who don't know, they are in the darkness. Veil is a night, then dark period of the moon, new moon, and when the more of the general path, most of the path, suppose you drive in daytime and you drive in night time in an unknown area. So what will be the difference? Difference is much difference. When in daytime, and then you find the whole road is lighted, your journey becomes very easy and you can see the thing. But in darkness you are afraid, even there is something not there, you are afraid, and journey becomes little troublesome. So he then...
But for both Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda left body around in time.
But they are God themselves, there is no time for Brahmagyanis, because they live always in consciousness. There is no night for them. For ordinary people, they are talking about people did some good karma, some bad karma. The persecuted by emissaries of death and beaten by the wayside dog, he falls shivering with fear and remembering one after another the sins that he has brought him to this end. The way is through burning sands, exposed to the full blaze of the sun. The very terrible description. Someone is being pulled on the blazing sand, hot sun. Burning sands, exposed to the full blaze of the sun and to blowing winds, and there is no water or shelter available for rest and refreshment. Though exhausted by heat, hunger and thirst, who is experiencing subtle body? Understand that? Your body, this is the gross body. After death, this body remains. But all is happening in the subtle body, your mind, and like your dream. So it is as if that body is going through tremendous torture. He walks along that way, driven by the whips of Jama's men. The death, god of death, sends his emissaries, they whip like a beast, like an animal. Now and then falling tired and unconscious, and again rising up, he enters into Jama's realm, led along the dark path of sinful and the wicked. So he ultimately ends into the Jamaloka, the plane of god of death. Then a prison house. They are taken to the prison house now. What you call the dark and dungeon, like what you could say, dungeon. A bad place, very foul, dark, and no light. Dungeon. The way to Jama's abode is 99,000 jojanas. He's giving an idea. Jojana means how much? How many miles make a jojana? I forgot that calculation. Jojan. Jojan will be a few miles. One jojana will be some few miles. So it is 1,000 miles. 1,000 jojanas means 1,000 times so many miles. Your journey will be going through the darkness and suffering and pain and agonies, thirsty, hungry, no water, no food. That, like the old cattles are sold for butchers. In India, they supply to other areas where they sell much. So it goes to 2.5 miles, one jojana. So 2.5 miles means 1,000. Now 2,500 miles they have to run, walk, and pulled into the way. That means step by step, you go enter into the hell. But it is covered in 3 muhurtas, about 2.5 hours. Reaching there, the jiva is tortured for expiation of his sins. That means he gets the punishment, no? In the jail you go, police comes and catches you and beats you and does this, that. But it is only 3 muhurtas, means about 2.5 hours after death. I do not know, they are giving this description. You believe or not believe, but a picture that how bad people doing bad karma suffer so much after death. Reaching there, the jiva is tortured for the expiation of his sins. Some of these tortures are of the following nature. Sinners are wrapped in cloth and burned as torches. One is made to eat the flesh cut off from his own hand, own body, either by oneself or another. Dogs, vultures, and other such creatures tear out the entrails from the living body. Snakes and scorpions, hornets, etc., sting the sinners, causing him terrible pain. His limbs are hacked one after another. Elephants are made to crush him. He is rolled down from mountain tops and is also suffocated under water or in caves. Such hellish torture, which men and women without distinction undergo, is purgatory, known as Tomisra, Andhotomisra, and Raurava are the sure rewards of the sinful activities born of their worldly attachment. So there are 3 levels in the hell. Tomisra, darkness. On the Tomisra, deep darkness. And Raurava means all, what is Raurava means? All like insects living in that dark denizens. Are the sure rewards of the simple. That means this bad karma. So people also follow this. Every religion has one aspect of it to create this idea. I do not know what happens. It may, they are not liars. They are giving an experience that gives a bad outcome. You do bad karma, you have to reap the result of that bad karma. And you will suffer yourself. For what reason? Because of the bad choice. O mother, great men say that there is heaven and hell even here in this world. O mother means Kapila is talking to Mother Devahuti, who is asking this question. So occasionally they are reminding. The Devahuti respectfully saying, "O mother, great men say that there is heaven and hell, even here in this world." Many people live in hellish experiences, is it not? In the same place, if they have done something terrible, suffering within, cannot speak to anyone, and is getting through the hellish experience mentally. For we find the sufferings of purgatory here itself. Why not then the hereafter also? In this life we find there are many people going through suffering like that, bad karmas. Whether many unjustified people also is put into the prison. But many genuine bad, those who have committed bad things, they are put into jail and undergo suffering and other things. No? See, it happens here. Why not after death? Thus a man who lives his life entirely for the pleasure of the body and for the support of his family is wrenched away from both and subjected to the suffering of purgatory. The body which a man has nourished by exploiting and inflicting cruelty on other creatures. Here is the point. By inflicting cruelty in others' lives. You live a life, noble life, serve everyone, love everyone, do your charity, do your service to others. That's a different life. But it is a nature, tamoso nature, rajoso nature, to torture others, to irritate others, to create trouble for others. There are people who find great joy. That's a man who lives his entirely for the pleasure of his body and for the support of his family. In which way? He is wrenched away from both subject to the suffering of purgatory. The body which a man is nourished by exploiting and inflicting cruelty on other creatures, he will have to abandon here and go alone to hell with the wages of his sins as his sole asset. So when you go, what asset you collect? It goes with you. All purity, love, all this have a golden asset or hellish asset. Hellish asset will take to hellish experience, noble thing will take to the noble experience. Just as a man who has been deprived of all the belongings is dazed and resigns himself to fate without doing anything to save himself, the confirmed sinner does nothing to redress the painful effects of his sins and fatalistically succumbs to the sufferings that are the store for him. So, if someone consciously does or unconsciously does, the suffering will come. So if one does in a helpless condition, prays and does other thing, that's a different thing. He's aware, he's now conscious. This is bad, this is good. This will not give me freedom. This is creating bondage. And prays, then that's why the idea of confession came. You pray sincerely to God and God will forgive that. Forgive. A man who lives in this world merely for supporting himself and his family by, now this is great, this man is great for supporting his friend, family and friend. They will go through their suffering because you need not have to support your family and friend in a wrong way. Rather, you be little poor, but be a good person, don't hurt anyone and suffer yourself. But creating suffering for others and for your own personal gratification, you are in the name of supporting your family, there also the consequences come. So there is exactly now this verses resembles the meaning of Narada's story with what you call Valmiki, the Ratnakar. Ratnakar was a highway robber and he was killing people, torturing people, taking away their assets and money and wealth to maintain the family. He said that I have my wife, my children, my mom, my dad. But the sin will not leave you. Why are you to earn that way? You earn in a noble way. But he understood later and he corrected himself by the help of the Narada, and then that improved, helped him to come out of the problem. A man who lives in this world merely for supporting himself and his family by thoroughly unrighteous means will certainly reach Anhata Misra, the hell of utter darkness. Then attaining again to the world, he passes through various animal bodies. Oh my God! Not only that suffering is end, then he will be born in other animalistic bodies, lower creatures. Karma, bad karma, not only understanding that going through the hellish experience in the subtle body, then again when he is born, he will be having that lower type of body where animals and creatures are helpless under the extreme condition of the nature, or human being torturing, killing mercilessly. Then attaining again to the world, he passes through the various animal bodies one after another as a part of the punishment, until having paid for his sins, he is purified. He is then born again and again. So they are born again and again after so long the bad karmas are not exhausted. That is the... So we got a very bad picture about bad karma today. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We end here. Now we'll have one question is there, we'll address that, and then we'll meet again at 7:30 for our Shanti Gita class. One question has come: looking back on your spiritual journey, have there been times of noteworthy growth on your part? Why did you pick this to share? And what stood out to you about your sadhana at this time? I do not know all these questions answer. I didn't choose anything. I was reading the book. Why do you pick this to share? I am not sharing. I am reading the book. The book says so. If you have to say anything, go to Krishna, who has given this, all this, to go to that sage, Kapila. I am reading only Kapila, a saint, avatar of what he said about misconception of karma done with bad motivation, and its impact will come to you. If science says you believe that, science says every action has got equal and opposite reaction. That we don't deny. If I do bad karma, then it will bounce back to me. You have to accept that also. It is a reasonable, it's a very, very reasonable statement. But anyhow, if you believe, that's okay. If you don't believe, that's also okay. But my spiritual journey, looking back on your spiritual journey, have there been times of noteworthy growth in your part? How can I say that? and it is only God to judge. I do not know. Growth or I think we are all growing, no? I think we are all growing. But who can understand? The growth, yes. Are you feeling more joy inside? Then you know that you are growing more. Are you getting detached to the world? Know that you are growing. You are becoming dispassionate to the externals and loving God more and more, feeling His presence more, then you know that you are progressing. Judge yourself. Don't have to judge me or anybody, because who knows what, but we know we are the best. We can think about that. Is my mind going towards God? Am I becoming more simple or complicated? Am I becoming crooked or straight? Am I feeling the suffering of others or not? Very simple questions. That will give an idea that what we are doing and what we are achieving. And if you really thinking of God, you can find peace. And look at the whole world, those who are doing all types of things, how restless, how disturbed they are day and night. When you do a good job, you find immediate satisfaction, you sleep well. Your peace comes, not God or forget about anything. You did something good, you feel some joy in yourself. So that is a sign of your growth. So it is to be individually, we'll have to find out. Why did you pick this one? As I said, I didn't pick up, but I was reading this book, Bhagavat, and in that Bhagavat, in the reading, this today's chapter, we get reached here. That's why I talked. What stood out to you about our sadhana at this time? What stood out? You'll have to think. You think how peaceful you are, how selfless you are, how finding inner peace and tranquility every day. When you go to sleep, have you a good sleep? Do you sleep well without any anxieties, worries? Can you give it to God? Or think that today I have not done anything, consciously I have not committed anything wrong. I have not given anyone a hard time. I have not talked intentionally to hurt anyone. Think about all these things. If you do, you find your development. Okay? Thank you.
Maharaj, sometimes people say when something bad happens to you that it's a karma from a previous life, especially if it's a young child or a baby that hasn't done anything wrong in this life. But if it's as it says in this book, and people go to the Jamasloka and then are reborn as animals, and that clears the bad karma, why is there still leftover karma for things that happen?
Yeah, there is why we are suffering so much if it is all cleaned in last life, no? That is the main point. No, but what happens, no, infinite number of karma, it's infinite effect. So, some part is now acting. There are so many layers of other karma that are stored up. That's why when we realize God, then all the karmas, the past drops. It may be bundle, huge, but that we sever it. But every day we are breathing, we are walking, we are talking. As I said, they are talking about you will be born in a bad body, you will be in a creature body. Why? What is the wrong in creature body? They have no freedom. They are under condition of the temperature, weather, heat, cold, storm, and sun, and human torture. Uselessly cutting a on. You are going, no need chopping one branch of the tree. Poor guy, he will be crying and weeping, my hand is cut, my finger is gone. But cry single, living in the tree body. If you feel these emotions, if you can identify with the emotions of the plants and animals, you will find that. You see, we are killing some animal, merciless, and he has nothing to say. But he will cry and weep and absorb all this suffering. No? So these are happening only one part. So many work we do, every work is connected with good and bad effect. So therefore, those who don't give it to God every day, transfer all these results. That's why it is very good to this practice that whatever we do, oh Lord, I have done, I offer it to you. So all goes away. Neither good, neither bad remains, because there are so many layers of karma I did today, consciously, unconsciously, but the effect must have to come. So therefore, what we want, that to get out of this karma cycle, we think of that pure self, which is not the body. It's all happening in the body and mind, no? All this karma is only through the body and mind. And karma is infinite number of effect. Infinite karma, infinite effect. So, how to get out of that? Only love God, feel detached with the body, live in the world, do your duties, as we are all hearing, and lead a nice life so that to help somebody, to do some good to others, and whatever, humble, pure, sincere life. And all the karmas, if you every day transfer, nothing is accumulating in your account then. And all the past karma will be cut out when you are illumined in the light of consciousness. So that is called the sanchita, when accumulated karma, infinite number of stories are there. Every day our mind is bombarded with so many thoughts, good thought, bad thought, but everything is stored in the bottom of your mind. That's called the samskaras are created. But there are so many. Only this life is only effect of last thought of the last life. One thought only. How many thoughts we think every day? But one thought has brought you here. I'll go. In the morning you have planned or told your mind, no, whatever happens, I'll go today. No, that has brought you here. But so many thoughts, think about that from morning, how many thoughts you have had. Do this, do that, this is. Every decision making, how many decisions we make, how many execute, how many we could not, no? So that's why karma is infinite, but karma's effect is there, but all effect can be annihilated by the holy name of the Lord. That's the bhaktas say. Vedanta says this identification with this body and mind and the world will clear this bondage. Because you are free from this attachment to these things of the karma. Karma acts on the body, karma acts on the mind. And if there is no mind, there is no, in deep sleep, do you do any karma? No. Because there is no mind, no body. Mind is there, mind is there, but you are not aware of it. But what I am doing now, it has its good and bad effect. Okay. Thank you all. Hope to see you again at 7:30. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.